Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. I decided that I'm gonna take advantage of some beautiful weather and a beautiful forecast and get these window planters that I have on the edge of my deck planted up. We're supposed to have really nice warm daytime temperatures, and we're only going to be getting, down into the single digits, but not shouldn't be getting any freezes for the next week. And after that, we're getting really, really close to our average last frost date. So hopefully I'm in the clear, but these pots are really easy. I can come out and throw like a light blanket or a towel over them if I need to protect them if it's looking like the forecast is going to change. These planter boxes are about 30 inches wide. They're about 4 inches from front to back and about 6 inches from top to bottom. I've just put in a new cocoa liner this year. I don't replace my liners every year, but the ones I was using weren't even holding themselves together at all anymore, so it was time for a change. This one appears to have a bit of a coating to it to help hold it all together differently. And then I always line them, I don't know how well you can see it here, but there's a little bit of landscape fabric that I put along the bottom and just up the sides, just a little bit up the sides and the ends. Usually this is the corner where it all got kind of folded up, and so it's a little bit higher up in these corners, but most of it comes, about halfway up or so. So I've filled it with fresh potting mix, and I've actually mixed in some water storing crystal granules. I'll show you the package. I've never used this variety before, but I came across it, and the one I've been using for years has started just selling them in these little tiny plastic bags, so I'd rather have something I can just scoop out of instead of the little bags. This one looks a little different than what I've used in the past, but it almost looks like little clay granules or something in the package here. I sprinkled 2 of these scoops in each of these baskets. I just read the directions, and I think that's about what I need there. And then I've watered these buckets really well. That's one of the granules. It's one of the granules there. It seems to be just the same jelly kind of like substance as what I've used in the past. But this is supposed to be natural, whereas what I used before I think was a silica product, which is natural too, but this just, I don't know if it's really any better or not. I have no idea. And I've never used this one before, so I don't know. The old one said it would kind of stay in the soil for many, many years, whereas this sounds like it'll break down within a year or two in the soil. So we'll see how it differs. It says it's child and pet safe. So my plan for these window boxes is to put some Sky and Ice Osteospermum that I grew from seed. And this is what it's looking like right now. It's really wanting to get out of these little containers and get planted out. I seeded these, I believe it was April 8th that I planted these, and they've been out in my cold frame for a couple of weeks now. So they're doing good and they're ready to go. This is a white Osteospermum, and it has a really bright, beautiful purple eye to it. It's really nice. And then I've picked up some of this Calibrachoa. I tried to grow Calibrachoa from seed this year, and it was my first time trying, and it was pretty much a complete fail. So I have to purchase my Calibrachoa still. And I thought this is a really nice deep purple. I think it'll bring out the eye of the Osteospermum really well, and they just have this delicate yellow throat to them. I think these will be a nice kind of next layer to the Osteos. The Osteos will get about 24 inches tall, so they'll get quite tall. And the Calibrachoa will probably get about 8 inches tall, so that'll be a little step down from there. And then I grew some lobelia. This is Regatta White lobelia. I grew this from seed this year. I planted this April 15th, I believe. This is what it's looking like now. And I thought that would be really nice. It'll trail, the lobelia and the Calibrachoa will both kind of trail over the sides a little bit and be a little bit of a filler at the same time. And I think they'll have a nice contrast in their leaves. And this this lobelia is supposed to be white, as the regatta white would imply. So I thought that would be a nice combination of color there. And I think I'll do all three like that. I'll probably put 3 osteos. I might put 4 of the calibrachoa, and then I think I'll break these pots up into 2 to 4 little sections to put through here. So I'll pot one up for you where you can see a little closer, and then I'll give you a look when I've done them all. These osteos are looking really nice, but they really need to get planted out of their pots here. So, like I said, they'll get about 2 feet tall, and this area here gets full morning sun, and then it gets kind of some dappled sun till about mid-afternoon. And then they'll be, look at those roots, looks so nice. And then the hottest part of the afternoon sun will be shaded from these plants. So I think they'll all really like that. And then you can probably see I have a drip system through here. So I just have a couple of emitters in each one of these baskets. And I can adjust how strong of a flow comes out of these emitters to what it seems the plants need. Yeah, these are just so ready to be moved on. So I think I said I watered the soil in here down really, really well, just to give them a good start here. That one centered as much as I can. And osteos are really nice as they'll grow lots and lots of flowers on them. And they'll grow up around the flowers. I like to deadhead them, but really they will grow up and cover up the spent flowers. You don't have to deadhead to get them to continue producing, but I do like to come along and deadhead them when I get a minute. So, let's see, I almost think, how they spread out, I think I'll do 2, and then I'll put the lobelia on either side, and I think will fill it in quite nicely. It's always hard when you're working with plants that you've started from seed versus these 4.5-inch cans here. It can be a little tricky to gauge your spacing. Okay, so when I planted these, I just sprinkled a lot of seeds. Lobelia seed is very, very fine, almost like dust, so I just sprinkled it across the top. There's lots and lots of plants in here. So I'll just take it and I'll just try and kind of split it into sections. And they'll spread out. So there, that's that pot. So I wound up putting 3 osteos across the back, and I tucked 2 calibrachoa kind of just to the inside, and then I put a lobelia one on either end and one right in the center. I think that'll look really sweet together. I think the colors will blend. I really think this deep purple is going to play off the purple eye of the osteos. And I have a nice contrast of the foliage here with these big, fat, wide leaves for the osteos. And then a very similar shape, but really fine leaf for the Calibrachoa. And then this is just the texture of the lobelia is a lot more airy and light, whereas these are very dense. So I think that'll all look really nice and work together. So let's get the other two planted up and we'll take a step back and look at them. Okay, so I think those turned out really sweet. I just watered them down. I gave them a liquid fertilizer in the watering can, so give them a nice good start. They're looking a little flattened from the watering, but they'll be fine. And I think this is going to be just a beautiful display of purples and whites. And like I said, just that nice contrast of the leaf textures and a little bit different color in the leaves. And I'm really looking forward to watching this come together. So the Osteospermum is a full sun to kind of part sun plant. Calibrachoa really likes full sun, but I think they'll get enough here that they'll be happy. And the lobelia prefers kind of a part sun situation. But I think as the osteos grow in here and fill in, the lobelia for the most part will get, and the Calibrachoa even will shade the lobelia a little bit too. So I think the lobelia will be getting mostly morning sun, except for maybe on these corners where they might not be getting shaded as much. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But I think they'll look really pretty here. And like I said, it should kind of fill in and just fill this gap here a little bit. So we'll check back in with them in a month or so and see how they're doing. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.